Okie dokie, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and do our Patreon kit today, and it is going to be live, so I may not be able to catch everything on screen, but it's more to be able to answer your questions kind of as we go, because let's face it, the Patreon kit is kind of the same thing every month. Now, what is going to be included in the kit? Now, remember, I want y'all to realize, if you cannot afford to do Patreon or you cannot afford to order from us right now, do not feel bad about it. It is the same all over the place, but if you can, we greatly appreciate you helping out our small business. Now, what's included in the Patreon kit? Now, you know, we do the monthly SVGs. There are 6 of them included, which are also for any Patreon level. Hi, Tamika. But you're also going to get the Tooltex Heather Cantaloupe shirt. Isn't this a pretty color? It is such a great spring color. Hi, Jab. And then you're also going to get 5 colors of HTV. So you're going to get the, well, I'm glad you're able to work, Cindy. So, hi, Jessica. So you're going to get black, Tiffany blue, periwinkle, hi, Teresa, ice gray, and green. So you can use in combination for whatever you want. Actually, and that's Kelly green. So I think what I'm gonna do today, oh, so Linda, you're in the middle of it, aren't you? Hold on, let's see. I'm gonna try to answer as much as I can. Hi, Helen. I might miss some of you, and I'm sorry. So there are 6 different SVGs, and typically the way that we work for our SVGs is they go out like a month early. So the stuff that goes out for April kit is stuff for May, and there are still some Easter designs, but I think I'm gonna make the file that looks like this, that says just a good mom with a hood playlist. I don't know how y'all are doing, but I feel like I'm going crazy at home, because typically when my kids are out for summer or they're out for a break, you know, I want to let them, yes, tired of social distancing. I'm not worried if they're learning anything. I mean, I do let them do things, but I'm not worried if they're learning as much. You know, we still typically will do educational things. We go to the zoo and museums and stuff like that, but that is not my #1 priority. They need to relax, but this is school time. This is stuff that they are supposed to be doing, and they aren't. I posted on Facebook earlier that I felt like the cool substitute teacher that had no idea how to teach them anything, but we're gonna just keep at it and play documentaries all the time. But they are working on, in our area, doing a like online learning thing. They just haven't yet. Okay, so one thing I do want to go ahead and do is I've got my design up on my screen just like normal. I'm using Cricut because these are SVGs. So I'm going to go ahead and ungroup this, and we're going to weld like we normally do. So, but one thing I do want to do is I want to, that's better. We're gonna shorten the distance a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit too far apart, which, you know, sometimes that's how I feel. Nadia designed these, and so one thing I'm doing is I'm taking and just pushing things closer together. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. Let's go ahead and grab all this and align center. Perfect. So look, I'll show y'all what I did. So I just took and scooched in the Good Mom and brought hood and with a hood playlist down and up a little bit, because I just wanted it a little closer together. Like I wanted it smaller on the shirt, if that makes sense. So I'm going to change this. Right now it's at 7.5 inches. So we're going to make that 10 inches. And I think I'm going to stick with the black and the Tiffany blue for this design, because Tiffany blue is one of my favorite colors. So anyways, doing a tutorial like this, I have no idea what I'm doing. So y'all are just going to have to bear with me and make sure that things are going the way that they're supposed to. I keep trying to look over and see if y'all are typing. So it's a little bit more, it's difficult because it's not the same thing as like when I'm doing this and recording, because I don't have to go back and check and see if y'all are typing until after the fact. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit confusing that way. But I know a lot of you have asked for, you know, live tutorials. So guess what? We're going to try a live tutorial. And if this doesn't work when we do our, because tomorrow's Thursday, which we typically don't film on Thursday, but we are. So we'll probably do a live tomorrow. And if this doesn't work, if you rather it a recorded tutorial, let me know and we'll do it that way. So everyday iron on, everything's mirrored. So we're gonna go ahead and turn you and face the Cricut machine so you can see how that is going. That's a new machine. That is the Prism Cut, and I am doing some testing on it to see how I like it. Okay, I can't get that camera angle right, so let me cut it and then I will talk as we're cutting. But yeah, I'm testing it out to see if that's something that y'all would like. So far, it's a good machine. It's just whatever works best. Well, thank you. And as I said, this was something new. I figured we'd test it out and see what we thought. But it's not something that we kind of have to keep going. You know, because I do know that we're not going to get the same, you're not going to be able to see everything that I do, like whenever I'm using the overhead GoPro and stuff like that. So, we do know that. But, I don't know. Oh, my nose is so runny. But this actually shouldn't take too long to, at least the words I'm cutting right now, because that is 2 words. And I've already got, I have weights laying around over here. Since I can't go to the gym, I'm still trying to work out some, but my diet is out the window. Is anybody else doing any dieting or trying to right now? How are y'all doing on it? I feel like I'm going crazy. But again, you know, and as I said, this is a whole different ballgame, because again, this isn't when my kids are typically supposed to be out. And like whenever we've had hurricanes and stuff like that and had to miss school, which has happened, we had to miss like 2 or 3 weeks of the first part of Nadia's senior year because of a hurricane. But we weren't stuck inside doing nothing. You're sticking to your keto? Well, hopefully it's going well for you. For me, part of the problem is when I went to the grocery store, I couldn't find my normal keto foods. And it was so crazy. I wanted to get in and out of there as fast as possible. Well, and I'm trying to cook healthy, but at this point in my house, like what I'm cooking for dinner tonight is we're having Hamburger Helper, because I have a lot of other things. And as I said, I need to get to the grocery store, and I'm trying to put that off. So, if y'all know how that is, because all of our grocery stores and stuff like that aren't stocked back up yet. And I don't know, I've got my Cricut Easy Press heated up, but y'all know you can use whatever heat press or whatever you want. It looks really dark above my head, doesn't it? It's crazy how things look in different light. So we're gonna go ahead and weed this. Yeah, Jan, that is amazing. I wish I had that willpower. Right now I don't. And as I said, part of it is like when I literally went to the grocery store, there are pictures like on Facebook and stuff like that. We had no meats. Fresh veggies were kind of few and far between, but canned stuff definitely wasn't a whole lot. And I don't have a lot of room in my freezer. And I didn't want to get a whole lot of fresh veggies that they did have, because one, a lot of the stuff that they had my kids aren't gonna eat, and trying to find room for things, you know what I'm saying? We are a frozen vegetable family. I wish I had better cooking skills to have more fresh, but a lot of times that's what we use is frozen, because from one day to the next I always have meals in my house, but I'm not, yeah, it's crazy, but I am not one that plans out meals a whole lot. Like, I'll have meals when I go to the grocery store planned to cook, but I don't know what day I'm going to cook it. So I always hate getting fresh veggies and fresh fruit. Hi, Linda. And then not using it and throwing it away. So I've always been a frozen veggie shopper. I mean, we did have last night, Nadia cooked. She made steak and she made fresh asparagus and fresh Brussels sprouts, which is great. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's kind of, you do what you can, but I don't know. I feel like I'm failing as a mom right now and a wife. Yeah, and see, when I went, the flower aisle was decimated, and as I said, I grocery shop for about 2 weeks at a time. We are a family of 5, and sometimes we have my mother and father-in-law come and eat at our house, or Blake or whoever, so we go through food quickly, really quickly. And like with the boys being at home for lunches, which they typically bring, but whenever they can eat. Oh, I mean, and that's the part of it is I know I'm not the only one feeling that way. That's part of the reason why I'm saying something, is because it's completely normal to feel that way whenever situations like what's going on right now and no one has any control over anything. It's hard to sit there and be positive and be like, I'm doing everything perfect. No, I'm not. I have no idea what I'm doing, and the least little bit. I love my kids. I'm freaking out, honestly. I'm worried because this year has been a very hard year for us as far as businesses go. Because y'all know we had Imelda, where I lost my car. We flooded out. We were closed for days. And then we didn't have business because a lot of people lost their houses. Then at Thanksgiving, right before Black Friday, we had a chemical plant explosion, which messed with business yet again. Oh, I'm glad you were able to catch us live. But again, I don't want it to seem like I'm complaining, because Lord knows I'm blessed. But on the same hand, it's hard not to be scared of what's going to happen, because we don't know how long things are going to last. So it's not that I'm freaking out about the virus itself. I'm freaking out more of what it's going to do to the economy, what it's going to do to my business, you know, more than anything. And again, I'm luckier than some in that aspect because we can still bring in money from, yeah, I'm not trying to make a profit off of anybody. But part of the reason why I am posting more YouTube videos is because views help bring in money. Now, it doesn't sustain payroll or anything like that, but it can help us go for a little bit longer. And as I said, I don't want it to seem like I'm begging. Hopefully it's just allergies. I haven't been anywhere around anybody. But y'all get what I'm saying? It's just, it's what do you do? What is the right move in this situation? Because I'm seeing it all over, and I'm hearing it from a lot of my other business owner friends, because everybody is dealing with it. Oh, I know everybody's bored to tears. I'm bored to tears. But on the same hand, this is also, even though I'm talking about it, it is also keeping me a little bit less stressed, if that makes sense. Because at least when I'm doing this, I'm kind of keeping busy. And, you know, if I'm talking about things, and this has kind of always been my motto on a lot of things, if I'm making you feel normal and sane during situations like this, that just makes me feel better. Makes me feel like I'm doing something. Because it's not a normal, insane time. So right now I'm sticking on the black layer. This isn't, since it's just text, it's not one of those things where you have to worry about heating for, you know, a couple of seconds and then, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I mean. I'm going crazy. I'm tired. That's the best thing to best way to describe it is I'm not sleeping. I've had nightmares. And I know I'm not the only one. I know y'all are too. And I'm worried. I'm worried not just for my little business. I'm worried about all little businesses. Hi, B Brown. I'm glad you're able to catch me, Gemini. But yeah, I mean, and being a person who's used to having control over things, I mean, Lord knows, yes, I've dealt with things and lost control of situations. But I am a planner, I am a preparer, and not having control right now is not making me feel good. You know what I mean? Control is hard. Control is one of those things that no one wants to give up. And as I said, I know places are being hit hard from it because I'm seeing well, yeah, I mean, I'm hopefully, yeah, so no travel allowed for y'all either. And I don't want it to seem like I'm just crazy or panicked or paranoid or anything like that. I'm worried, and I'm sure everybody else is. But I can see, like, a lot of my small business owner friends that are posting all kinds of sales, trying to get people through their doors. Because in our area, because of everything that we've dealt with this year, our economy was hit hard. We had no Black Friday. I mean, people shopped after the fact, but it was just like a normal day. We didn't have our Black Fridays like we typically do. That hurt. And I just don't want to see anybody losing their business because of something like this, something that we have no control over. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'll keep going as much as I possibly can. Yeah, and see, y'all stood in line for 3 hours just trying to get milk and bread and stuff. For us, I mean, like, I still have a gallon of milk. When I went to the grocery store last Friday, I bought 2. But I've even had to tell my kids to calm down on what they typically drink for milk, if that makes sense, because I don't want to run out. And typically, we go through about 2 gallons of milk a week. Like, that's one of those things we have to go back to the grocery store. Like, I go grocery shopping roughly every 2 weeks. Oh, it's on 330 degrees for 15 seconds. But mine is the 9x9. So my design is much bigger than... So it's taking longer. But I'm finished with it. Look how cute this looks. Now, I'm sure that angle is not the most flattering, but it does look absolutely adorable. And I'm in love with this color of shirt. It's definitely screaming spring to me. But there are places all around the world that I'm concerned with, you know. I know a lot of you who watch me are business owners. Well, yeah, but if you don't, hold on. But on the same hand, if you don't have money or you're worried about your income coming in, don't go and support a business, because you have to think about your family first. That is something major. And I want that to be known. If you can support, great, support. If you can't, don't put yourself in a bind because people are having trouble, because everybody's having the same trouble. I do have a video on making leather earrings. I did one, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that. I made leather earrings. But I can always do it again. I am going to be doing some of the repeat tutorials. One of the things, though, is shipping on stuff is kind of limited. A lot of the places that I order shirts and stuff from are closing warehouses. Not everybody. But some places are, so some things are going to be limited. So there might be repeats, and some things may just be boring talking videos. But if you can't support by ordering or being a patron, yes, see, Steve, and I don't, hopefully I'm not being patronizing, but I know a lot of times, I feel where I'm at in my position, a lot of y'all would go out of your way to support us, and I don't want anybody to not be able to eat because they're worried about supporting me. You need lots of repeats. So I am going to work on that. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. We can completely understand. Like, for us, one of the things, like, y'all may not know, and I've talked about it, we do screen printing and big signs and stuff like that. Well, yeah, it is what it is. But, like, fishing tournaments, seasons for sports, that type of thing, it's all been postponed. And part of the reason why I wanted to make it clear is that if you can't support, then don't. Because, as I said, I love you guys, and I don't want anybody to go into a financial burden because they're trying to support me. We'll be fine. You know, we're lucky in the aspect of most of the people who work for us, they have spouses that have other jobs. My mother and father-in-law, things got tight. They have Social Security. My husband works. We will be okay. And I want to make that known. We will be okay. Things will be tight, but I mean, it ain't anything I haven't ever been through before. But getting on YouTube, watching old videos, making sure you don't skip through ads, hey, that helps a bunch. So if you can do that, do that. I mean, that always helps. I mean, I don't make a whole lot per video, but I make enough, and every little bit helps keep the lights on and roof over our heads and all that kind of stuff for the business. As far as personally, we're all okay with that. I just don't want to have to, if this goes on too long, I worry about what's going to happen then. And y'all, I mean, I'm sure y'all can completely understand it. But I don't want it to all be about that either. You know what I'm saying? There's so much more. Yes, I'm still doing Corel Draw videos. We just did the one last week over. I just did the one over the Easter Bunny sign. That turned out super cute. Now, Corel Draw videos are a little bit different because they take a little bit longer to film. I do too, and then I get some of the weirdest videos from going down the YouTube rabbit hole. Because as I've said before, you know, crafting videos are not what I watch. That's not what I'm into. If I'm watching videos on YouTube, I'm watching makeup stuff like Will I Buy It's, that kind of thing. But I haven't even really felt like doing that because I don't want to spend any money. Because I have a feeling like some of the price gouging stuff is going to get worse. And our area, you know, where we live is Southeast Texas. We are a refinery area, and it was already getting hit hard because the gas prices, because Russia and Saudi Arabia are just flooding the markets with barrels of gasoline, or crude oil, I think is how it goes. So our plant workers aren't getting the hours and things that they were used to. So it's just bad all around. It will get better, but it's just bad all around. And again, I don't want it to seem like I'm just a negative Nancy, because I'm really not. We're all happy, healthy, safe. We've got things to keep us occupied, even though my kids are going to drive me insane. Literally, Cameron was trying to hide in the couch earlier, and he's bored. Yeah, Cindy, and that's part of it, is that hurts whenever you're a refinery area. Whenever you see the prices go down, people are losing jobs. People are being laid off. So that's been happening. But we're strong. We're used to this kind of thing. And I mean, that it might kind of sound snotty or conceited, but we went through hurricane after hurricane. We've dealt with some stuff, y'all. Yes, watch tomorrow, Helen, and I promise it'll be more positive. Even if it's not a tutorial, we'll do something. We'll have a fun chat. Yeah, let's do a fun chat tomorrow. Y'all think about what y'all want to talk about, and I'll talk about whatever you want. And I don't think I'm going to do any more live tutorials. I think I like recorded tutorials better. Yeah, I know. But we'll do some kind of fun chat tomorrow over whatever y'all want it to be over. Comment, let me know what y'all want, or y'all can just talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it as a tutorial tomorrow, because I think I'm going to continue recording tutorials, and then on the days that we don't record, because you know I've always done Tuesday lives, but like Thursdays and Saturdays, we will definitely do some more live chit chats, because I'm sure moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, whoever's watching, aunts, uncles, are all tired of all this stuff. Let's make it something fun. Let's try to do something that's, I don't know. Maybe we'll play a game or something. Maybe like 20 questions or something. So think of your questions. Y'all will be able to ask me anything. We'll do something like that. And then maybe we'll do like would you rather or something, because I have all kinds of board games. So we'll come up with something just to kind of keep it interesting. But yeah, let me know. But I guess that's it. I will see y'all mañana for a live video. Well, part of the problem, Jan, is with the gas prices, and not a lot of people are realizing this. It's not just dropping because people aren't going anywhere. Russia and Saudi Arabia are in, they have a lot of shale, which is where the gasoline comes from. I hope I'm saying this correctly, because sometimes I screw this up so bad. And like whenever my husband got laid off before was when gas prices started to go crazy low, because the markets were getting flooded with barrels of petroleum or crude oil, or however it's said. So when that happens, gas prices fall, which is great for the consumer. But if you're in an area like we are, which is a refinery area, it's terrible. Like, I would much rather see high gas prices, because then I know people are able to work. You know, I am all for the economy and things like that, and I have no issue with prices on certain things being higher, because I understand, as being a business owner, it's hard because you've got competition from every which way trying to do the same thing that you're going to do, and they're going to do it cheaper. But you also have to remember that America was built on the backs of small businesses and small business laborers and things like that, and those are the people that are important to support. Because, you know, if J.C. Penney's doesn't get business for a month, you think it's going to bankrupt them? Well, it might, because their bottom dollar's hurting pretty bad. Let's think of someone that's doing a little bit better. That sounded terrible. Sears, definitely not Sears. Trying to think. Like the Buckle. Okay. The Buckle I haven't heard anything bad about. Do you think that if... Yeah, there's costs and overhead involved. Even if I send all my employees home, the overhead's still going to be the same. I still have to pay electricity. I still have to pay water. I still have to pay insurance. I still have to pay my building notes. I still have to pay leases on equipment. That doesn't go away. But like for Buckle, with as much money as they've got set to the side or whatever, yeah, Ulta's closing all of its stores. So, okay, so for Ulta, people can still buy online from Ulta. I don't know if they're planning on paying all of their employees for the time period that they're going to be closed. Some stores are, some stores aren't. But it's, bottom line, it's not going to hurt them as bad as the little guys. Well, and one thing for the employees, I do know that they are, at least in Texas, we have disaster unemployment going on. So for workers who are either laid off or their hours have been cut due to this, they will be able to make some money. But I don't know if it's like the entire amount of paychecks or anything like that. That's one of those things I don't know enough about. But those businesses are going to last. Or they're going to get help and get bought out and merge with other big businesses, because that's what happens. And let's face it, most of the time whenever there's a bailout for situations like this, they help the big guys. They don't worry about the little guys. That's not who gets the help. You know, I know that they're talking about a stimulus package where they're going to send $1,000 to every adult in the United States who makes below a certain amount. But this is, you know, if you're making millions, I can understand that. But even if you make a good salary, during this time period, everything's crazy. Everything. So it's hard for every family, not just super low income, which I'm sure it's devastating for, but it's devastating for everybody. I try to think of the best way to say things so it doesn't sound like I'm coming off as pretentious or rude or not caring about other people, because I do. But on the same hand, right now, I can't do much to help out. Like, I've offered to grocery shop for my husband's grandfather and things like that, but I don't know a whole lot of senior citizens that are like close to me to even offer to go grocery shop for, or I'd go offer to grocery shop for whoever. I want to help whoever I can, but on the same hand, I'm going to be very open and honest and say that I'm scared. And I'm not scared of the coronavirus per se. I'm really not. I'm scared of what it's going to do to the economy, because little things happen and it's billions of dollars lost. Something like this that is affecting the whole global economy is going to be trillions. Yeah, as a sole proprietor, So as a sole proprietor, I know it's worse for you. We are an LLC. We have a limited liability corporation. So if it bankrupts the business, it won't bankrupt us, which is good. That's why we set it up as an LLC. It's hard, and not everything here has shut down. I have a feeling it eventually will, but at this point, not everything here is shut down. But it's just a bad situation. I know of a lot of people, electricians. I have one guy who was saying he's an electrician, and for their business, he's done jobs, but they've shut down the offices that come out and inspect, so he can't get paid for jobs he's already done. And a lot of companies do 30-day pay and stuff like that, where for us, like for big signs and stuff like that, bigger companies can pay us, like they pay an invoice once a month versus paying all the time. Well, that can be difficult, because if they close down offices, hi Beverly, it just makes it difficult. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. It's not just me, it's everybody. And I see that. I know that people have had their hours cut. I know people have been laid off. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. I'm saying that with all honesty because I can see the writing on the wall. This is going to take a lot of time to recover from. But as long as we can remember to be decent human beings and try to be as helpful as possible and not judgy, which is my problem, is not being a judgmental butt, we can get through this. It's going to take all of us. You know, the old saying of it takes a village. Well, in this time period, it takes a nation. It takes more than a nation. It takes the whole population of the world. Because this isn't an America problem. This isn't a China problem. This isn't an Italy problem. This is a worldwide problem that is affecting everybody. And we have to think about that. There's no time to worry about, you know, what so-and-so's doing over there, because this is affecting every single human being. And those things I don't think we're reminded of enough, you know. And I'm bad about it. Like, I've sat here and thought how things have been messed up for us and blah, blah, blah. But it's not just me. This is businesses everywhere. It doesn't matter what you do. Every industry, even if they can make it through or not, is affected. It's going to hurt everybody. And there will be losses of jobs trying to bring things back. And it's just going to be crazy. Let's be honest. And that's one thing, y'all know. I may not always say the right thing, but I do try to be as honest as possible with my views. And love me or hate me, I do try to be very caring of humans and, well, and animals. I like animals better than people, but I don't have to worry about the animals for the most part through this. Other than, I do have one issue with all you people who have been hoarding things. I know a lot of you have pets. Why is it that I couldn't find toilet paper, but it didn't look like the dog or cat food or fish food aisle had been touched? I'm looking at you. You didn't think about your pets. Come on now. They gotta eat too. That's me joking, but I do. I worry about my babies. You know, I get sick. Who's gonna take care of them? Because as I said, we have 3 dogs, 3 cats, and a fish. 1 fish. Thank God it's just 1. But anyways, well, I guess you touched it. Yeah, that's one of the first things I had to go for too. Which again, I have 3 little dogs. So, and this is something I want to make understood. We have 3 little dogs. I buy a big 50-pound bag of dry dog food, and it will last us for months. We go through treats more than we do dog food because my dogs are fat and spoiled. They hardly eat real dog food, but they love treats. And I say that they're fat and spoiled. Part of the thing is they're all old. The youngest one is 8, and they're not like super overweight. They can't, but it's just one of those situations. You know what I'm saying? So they would rather eat treats than they would dog food. I mean, I buy them healthy treats at least. We bought them the Blue Buffalo, the healthy square. So you're like bacon and egg or something. Anyways, they love those things. And they smell like bacon and egg, but they kind of stink. Anyways, we joke that they're their cookies. But I think they're pretty healthy for them. I have no idea. I should probably do more research over that to make sure I'm giving my dogs a nutritious diet. Yes, Stevie's at home. They're all on the couch right now. I was going to film at home, but the boys are watching Shrek. It's our English lesson. We're working on fairy tales. But yeah, I didn't want to get copyright strike for watching Shrek in the background. So anyways, that's kind of it. But I will do some more videos with the girls. We may film with them tomorrow. Y'all haven't seen all of them yet either. Y'all have only seen where did I get that dresser? That dresser came from IKEA. I've had that thing forever. We actually, when we first opened up Cuttin Corners, the back side of it has a signboard on it because that's what I used as the front counter. So anyways, well, I guess I will let y'all go. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll do a live video. We'll do something fun, question answer style. Who knows, I may even have an adult drink. So we'll see. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.